Peace Collective. What's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is Milan. I am an intuitive tarot reader and psychic medium. If you guys are new here to this channel, welcome. If you guys are returning, welcome back. It means the world to me. Each and every single time you guys join, thank you guys times 1,000 for being here and for deciding to spend your time and your energy here with me in these readings. As you guys know, this is going to be another general collective reading. However, we're going to get into another deep dive today. As you guys can tell by the title, we're going to look into the energy between Stefon Diggs and Offset, okay? Cardi B's husband and Cardi B's baby daddy, boyfriend, PR thing, whatever. If you guys are interested in readings that look more into celebrity culture, the entertainment industry, music, I've got an entire playlist already curated. It's called the Deep Dive series. That's where you guys can find more readings just like this one. If you guys are ever interested in personals, I do offer them. This channel does offer love readings. I do live streams every once in a while, so make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. Just as a quick disclaimer, this channel is not a fan page. This is not a stan page or anything of the sort. Everything in this reading is alleged until proven otherwise and for entertainment purposes only. If you guys don't like the subject matter of this video today, you guys don't like what I'm saying, it is absolutely free to just click off the video. There are plenty of other readings on this channel for you guys to tap into and check out. If you guys do resonate with the reading, you like the vibes here on the channel, something here makes sense to you, definitely leave a like on the video. It is free 99 to do so. Share if you care. Subscribe. We'd love to have y'all here, part of the family, okay? So we're going to get right into this, you guys. I wanted to get into this because I feel like things are kind of hitting ahead when it comes to Cardi B and the two men in her life. As you guys know, she's still legally on paper married to Offset, okay, whose real name is Kiari, and then she's publicly dating and literally just had a baby and not even 6 months ago with football player on the New England Patriots team, Stefon Diggs. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but that girl, Selena Powell, she's kind of like an industry bopper, okay, that kind of gets around, right? Very vocal, very straight up, very honest about her get around game. But anyway, she was on a podcast. I don't know who that girl's podcast she was on, but she just, oh, I thought it was so disrespectful or just so rude. But she really aired out Offset and his personal business when it comes to the children he shares with Cardi B. She alleged that there might be a restraining order against him that Cardi B filed, allegedly, okay? So it just seems like a lot of drama. What I also noticed, too, with Stefon Diggs, he doesn't really say a whole lot. He seems to be very focused and honed in on his career and his work, which is really good, but he doesn't really say too much publicly. And if you guys know what's going on with Stefon Diggs, he's got a woman who basically accused him of abuse and having to owe her money. It was like some type of personal chef or whatever. And he is literally charged and has to show up to court. His court date was changed to a later date because of the football games going on, the playoffs and everything. So yeah, both of these guys in Cardi B's energy have some shit going on right now. And she just is kind of in the middle of it. So we're going to look and see what's going on between these two. Maybe just to see how they feel about one another. Do they even fuck with each other? It doesn't really feel like it at all. But we'll see. Okay, I have a King of Wands here to represent one of them. We're going to use this black one with the black background to represent Stefon. Okay, since he's a Sagittarius, we're going to use the King of Wands from one deck to represent him. Then I have the King of Wands with the white background from a totally different deck. We're going to use this to represent Offset, okay? So let's get right into this. We're going to use an oracle deck first, okay? We're going to start with Stefon. If somebody wants to timestamp the reading, we're more than welcome to. Thank you ahead of time. And then we'll switch and flip the roles when it comes to who we're reading on, and I'll make sure to keep you guys updated as the reading goes on regarding who we're talking about, okay? So we're gonna start with Stefon here, okay? With this King of Wands, we're gonna use What's the Vibe? We'll start with this, and then we'll get into some tarot a little bit later to clarify, you guys, okay? Please give some clear and concise messages when it comes to Stefon at this time. When it comes to Offset, how does he currently feel? What is his energy like when it comes to Offset at this time? Please and thank you. Stefon's energy, how does he feel when it comes to Offset at this time? Please and thank you. Okay, what is this? Ooh, that's not a great first card. Okay, you got chaos. Yeah, upheaval, disaster, and downfall, which is kind of funny because it's like, and just to clarify, what I'm asking when I'm pulling cards is how does Stefon feel in regards to Offset? And we're going to ask the same thing. How does Offset feel in regards to Stefon? So it's kind of interesting that you're calling out or pointing out, at least for the sake of this energy reading, you're pointing out someone else going through chaos, disaster, a major downfall, but you've got literally an entire charge against you for like physical assault and abusing a woman, quote unquote, allegedly, right? So calling out somebody else's drama when you've got your own drama is interesting. But let's see. Upheaval, disaster, and downfall. As we know, Offset has, he put out an album, I believe, last year, if I'm not mistaken, but he's not in the same position as he used to be musically or anything like that. So I get it. And of course, he's got the financial chaotic situation going on owing the IRS. He seems to be a very heavy gambler as well. But let's see. I would definitely say that Stefon is a little bit more stable security and financial wise than Offset, at least at this time, at the time of this recording. But let's see. Now, Stefon could also be feeling like Offset is trying to create this chaos or disaster or downfall in his situation with Cardi B. Okay, but let's see. How does he feel at this time when it comes to Offset? There's a tornado in the background of that card. Okay, how does he feel when it comes to Offset at this time? What is this? Envy. Okay, resentful, competitive, discontent. Now this can go kind of both ways, and you have glow up. Yeah, so that's so funny. I was just saying, I think Stefon's like a little bit more secure and stable when it comes to like his career, other things that maybe he's working on outside of football. He seems to be kind of into fashion these days, right? I don't know if he was always into that, but he seems to kind of have an eye for fashion. But yeah, envy, resentful, competitive, and discontent. So this could go two ways. I feel like Stefon, he could feel as though Offset, because again, I'm asking how does he feel in regards to him or towards him. He could feel like Offset is the one that's envious or, in competition with him because of, obviously he's got his his current wife, but ex, technically, whatever you want to call it, okay? They're legally married, but they're not together. So he could feel like, being envious or jealous or in competition with me or being upset with me for scooping up your old girl, you shouldn't be worried about that because you got a lot of other chaotic shit going on in your circle right now that you shouldn't even be worried about what I'm doing over here with Shorty. Is kind of what I'm getting with this, because I don't get this as Stefon being necessarily resentful or envious toward Offset. Okay, but let's see. What is this? How's he feeling? Or yeah, how does he feel in regards to Offset, please? Or how's he doing Offset at this time? And it's funny because how I even have the cards to represent their characters lined up on the table. You have Stefon kind of just looking away. Okay, and then you've got the King of Wands here that I have to represent Offset, like staring at Stefon, okay? And you got his fist is all balled up and whatnot, just staring, where you've got Stefon's card looking at in the complete opposite direction, like not even worried about Offset over here, okay? So let's see. What I do get about both of these guys, though, it could have something to do with their birth chart and their placements, but I get with both of them, it's like, maybe not so much in public or on camera, but you catch them at the right time of day. Both of these are the two people that will pop off for real. Like, they don't take disrespect well, or they can get rah like a dungeon dragon real quick, is what I get kind of collectively for both of them. But let's see. How is Stefon feeling in regards to Offset at this time? Thank you. Oh, Okay, I got a couple. We'll keep both of them. Let's see. Thrills. Okay, you got what does it say? Continuous cycles, bad decisions, and addictions. Looks like this girl is kind of damn near slumped over. She's got an empty wine glass right here. Okay, you got daydreaming, head in the clouds, delusion, hopes and dreams. That's so funny. Wow. Okay. He's funny. Wow. And you've got legal here. Look at that. I was just peeking at the deck. Lawyers, court, and paperwork. So I told you, it's like Stefon could be in this energy of like with Offset. Listen, man, you got too many other things to be worried about. Okay, legalities, finances. Now, same thing with Stefon. He's got some legalities to worry about. But it's kind of like, you've got your own shit to worry about. Why are you worried about me? And then you've got this delusion energy here. With thrill, this is definitely giving me like, mixing the wrong drugs or alcohol with maybe not a great emotional state. Maybe Stefon knows something about that. Like when Offset drinks or gets a little, in his vibe, be popping pills, he gets I don't know how to explain what I'm feeling, but maybe Offset has like said some things or made some certain threats here while maybe under the influence of some sort. And I just mentioned that how Cardi B she's the common denominator between them two. There could be a restraining order against Offset allegedly, okay? And you have legal here showing up, lawyers, court, and paperwork. Interesting. Yeah, maybe like this daydreaming. It's like Stefon could be in this vibe of like, you just again, you want to be like me with this envious competitive energy. It's kind of like the energy of you wish you were me, is what I'm getting from Stefon towards Offset, basically. Ooh, okay. But something about Stefon's energy I don't really like for real. I don't know what it is, but he gives like sexual deviant, just narcissist. I don't know what it is. He just plays it off a lot better and a lot more cool, calm, and collectively than maybe Offset does. But obviously not, because there have been a couple in the last few years. There have been a couple of incidents where Stefon was involved. Even his brother, I believe his brother's name was it Trey Diggs or Trayvon Diggs, something like that, getting very violent and aggressive toward other men as well. So it's like Stefon is calling this out about Offset, but it's like you are kind of in the same energy too. Okay, well, let's see. We're going to go to Offset and get from the same deck, okay, and see how he may feel at this time towards Stefon. Okay, what is this, please? How is Offset feeling at this time? And I'm not the biggest fan of Offset, but part of me feels like a little bad for him in a way, because the woman that's in between these two, again, Cardi B, I definitely feel, again, allegedly entertainment purposes only, I feel like Cardi definitely put some type of root or tried to put some type of work over Offset. And I think what we're witnessing, or what we're seeing manifest in the 3D reality physically, is really just a physical manifestation of what was put over his life spiritually. It's almost like seeing somebody spiral or break down due to some type of, again, like root work or spell work. I don't know. I've gotten that energy slightly before with them a long time ago, and I'm receiving it again now as I'm channeling. So I mean, that's why I felt a little bit bad for him, but he's still a deviant. Okay, that doesn't absolve him of anything. However, let's see. How is Offset feeling at this time when it comes to Stefon Diggs? Please and thank you. What is this? Intimacy. Oh, wow. Okay. Mutual respect, unity, and closeness. Okay, that's funny, because before I even started recording, I was kind of asking to myself, like, did these guys used to be friends, or they used to like get along or have some type of respect for each other or something? Two-faced. Oh, wow. Ha! Double life, cheater, and backstabber. So that's interesting. That sounds like, okay, were you cool with him? Were y'all friends at one point with this intimacy here? And then you got someone here's two-faced. Obviously, if you were friends with somebody and maybe they steal your wife or get with your wife and get her pregnant, yeah, that person's is a backstabber. They're two-faced. Same thing would be if it was a woman, you know, or if there were two women and a man or something, you know. But let's see, how does he feel? What is this? Running. Okay, escape, denial, and excuses. Why would he feel like that towards you, Stefon? What does that mean? Denial. In denial of something? About what? What is this? Okay. My apologies if something is not coming through so clearly, guys. If it's not coming through clearly, I'm not going to just make shit up. I'm just going to keep going. Okay. What is this, please? Why is this here? How does he feel in regards to him? Or how's he doing him? Oh, wow. That's so funny. Then you have narcissists and karmics, third parties. Technically, in Offset situation, he would be a third party because, again, he's still kind of married to Cardi B. They have children. Then you have narcissists. Didn't I just say how I feel like with Stefon, his vibe is still weird to me? Like, I get sexual deviancy and narcissism with him. Here it is. So clearly, Offset feels the same way. Egotistical, opportunist, and fragile. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And you have glow up here. Now, granted, Stefon Diggs was already very established before messing around with Cardi B or anything like that. However, I do feel like, as I'm channeling, okay, with Offset, he could be viewing Stefon, okay, allegedly, as, listen, you got close to my woman, to my wife. You might only use her up as some type of like PR stepping stone or another way to get your face out in the public, because remember the whole, what's his name, Chris Blake Griffith, the guy who accused Stefon and Stefon's brother of setting him up, beating him up, getting him robbed because of quote unquote alleged, again, entertainment purposes only, accusations or not wanting to get with him sexually, so he got him beat up allegedly. With Offset, he could be viewing Stefon as somebody maybe using the person, again, with who he's intimate with, who he's close with, the woman in the middle, as some type of stepping stool publicly, right? Or maybe, and it's weird because, like, why would you use Cardi B of all people to, like, use her as a stepping stool? I don't know. But again, this is not how I feel. This is just coming out maybe with how Offset, how he feels. And it's like, once you get to where you need to be, or you need your image to be where it needs to be, getting next to this woman, you're going to run away and not be around anymore. Once you use her energy up high and dry, you're going to be gone. It's kind of what I'm getting from this. At least that's how he's viewing the situation, okay? As an opportunist. But to be honest with you guys, it's like, I feel like I could say the same thing about Offset. Kind of, sort of. I mean, granted, again, Offset was the breadwinner, and he was the one that was a lot more popular culturally, musically than Cardi B when they first got together, when they first got engaged. However, having the new rap girl at that time, okay, this was like 2017 or whatever, on your arm, the racially ambiguous new rap girl that's up and coming on your arm, yeah, that could be used as well, Offset, to boost your image. Again, PR, making more money together because you have this girl on your arm. So I could say the same thing about him, but he's saying that about Stefon. So I really, really hope that makes sense, what I'm even saying, you guys, okay? Now, how does he feel when it comes to Stefon at this time? We're going to switch decks in a moment. And it's weird because it's almost like the same devil looking at himself in the mirror. These guys have like very similar energy. Maybe they're both kind of narcissistic. It's like they project a lot, is what I'm getting from this. Can we get one more for Offset, please? tension. Yep, stressed out, migraines, and worry showing up. And you got antisocial, in your feelings, silent treatment, and left out. So he's viewing Stefon as someone who doesn't want to be bothered by him, not interested, okay? Maybe hear tension. It's almost like this guy looks like he's face palming as if he's like annoyed or something like that. So yeah, here you go. Established. I mentioned that, how Stefon is obviously a little bit more established on paper. So you have silent treatment here too. It's like he doesn't talk to Offset. They don't talk. And if they do, or if they had, like, DM or throwing little shots back and forth or whatever, it's like he's viewing Stefon as the one who's kind of just leaving him out in the cold, like not even really responding, doesn't really say much for real. I'll let my girl handle that. That's her baby daddy. Let her handle that. It's kind of what I'm getting from Stefon. There's definitely tension here between the two of them, though. There's tension, but, obviously they're not out here throwing hands or throwing shots at each other online. So, again, like I said, I think Stefon's a lot more reserved publicly, but you get him behind the scenes or off camera, off the internet. He's a whole demon, I feel like. And yeah, look at this: distance, divorce, ghosted, and separation. So they don't really interact with each other for real. Understandably so, okay? But I do feel like, and please someone correct me if I'm wrong, I do feel like there was some type of friendship here at one point. Okay, but we're gonna go back to Stefon. Again, I have here this energy of him feeling like, or viewing Offset as someone who wishes he was Stefon. Oh, Offset, you're just resentful and you're in competition with me. You're just mad I took your girl. And Stefon is definitely aware of certain extracurricular activities, okay, when it comes to substances, allegedly, that Offset is into, okay? So that's the thing, though, about Stefon. Obviously, he plays sports, so he has to stay sober, at least during game season, okay? I'm not here to defend him or say, oh yeah, he's all just straight edge, because we definitely saw your ass on that boat with all those bitches and Cardi B with that pink shit, okay? I don't know if you were doing it or not, okay? Not here to point no fucking fingers, but he gives me a lot more sober-minded than Offset does. It doesn't mean it's like that all the time, okay? But I definitely get a lot more sober-minded Stefon than I do with Offset. But let's see. We're going to go back to Stefon. We're going to use what's the tea, okay? Let's see. How's he feeling? What's his energy like, please, when it comes to Offset? Oh, wow, Forcer. I was just saying how, like, they're not out here throwing hands or anything. This guy's wearing, like, a boxing gloves and boxing shorts. It says forces things on you. Forces their way in. Uses force to get what they want. And again, guys, I know people kind of like to hop and skip around in the reading. So I'm asking on both portions is, how does each person feel about the other? How are they viewing the other person? So Stefon could be viewing Offset as someone who is very like aggressive or forceful or push, with this forcer energy. And that may equate to why there could be some type of, and allegedly, entertainment purposes only, some type of alleged restraining order against him. And interestingly enough, it could have been Stefon who encouraged Cardi B to go ahead and do that, get a restraining order on him or something, allegedly. When you're viewing someone as a forcer, this is someone who's maybe, again, a little aggressive. You tell them no, and they still keep asking over and over again. You walk away, now they're following you. You know what I'm saying? You stop responding for days or for hours, and this person's still going. Okay, so interesting. Why is this here, please? Hooked. Yeah, like obsessed almost. Someone who's hooked. It's like they won't go anywhere. But in this case, it wouldn't be toward Stefon. It would be toward the woman in the middle, Cardi B, obviously. But they have like 3 kids together. And technically, the last baby she just had, again, maybe not even 4 or 6 months ago. It's by Stefon, but legally, since she's still married, that's legally in the court of law is Offset's baby, okay? Maybe not DNA biologically, but in some states, if you have a baby and you're still married to another person, that's their kid. You could have had a kid with fucking SpongeBob or Big Bird, but if you're legally married to Offset, that is their child, even though you have a baby with fucking yellow wings, okay? Doesn't matter. Okay, why is it here, please? So there would be a reason why Offset is trying to force his way back into the situation, because he's got kids with her. And you know, obviously, he may want that old thing back. Okay, I don't really get that with him. He might. You know, I can always clarify and ask, but it doesn't really feel like that. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. How is Stefon viewing him, or how does he feel when it comes to Offset? Please and thank you. Yeah, jackpot. It should have been the reverse. Okay, I'm gonna flip it upright, but again, not as financially stable as me. You don't have your shit together like me. Maybe 10 years ago you were popping, but all of that has dwindled away. And again, you got the gambling energy because this woman has a scratch off, okay? Winning money, got rich, inheritance, unexpected money. So I think there's something here with Offset again, that he likes to gamble. And Stefon might just know about it, heard about it. Obviously, he's laid up with his wife, so... And again, I think they used to be cool. That might be why he knows certain things about him, too. Okay, why is this here, please? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, obsessive lover. Did I just say, like, something about obsession here? When I got that hooked energy? Hooking real, okay? Dangerous, toxic, unhealthy, possessiveness, and a karmic. And you've got here rejected. Yeah, rejection. So he's viewing Offset as like not being so happy about being rejected or turned away. You know, how do I say this? I'm not necessarily saying Stefon wants to like step in and take over daddy duties and kind of just eclipse Offset out of the picture, because Stefon's already got multiple children with multiple different women, and he's definitely a bachelor that doesn't plan on planting his roots anywhere for a significant amount of time. So I don't necessarily see him trying to eclipse Offset out of the picture, but it's kind of already happening, or it already happened. Okay. Oh, wow. Divination abuser. Interesting. Okay, what is this? Moves in silence. Now, this is definitely Stefon too. I already said that. You know, he publicly is very quiet, doesn't really say much, respond to nothing for real. I feel like Offset's a lot more messy publicly than Stefon is. However, Stefon is just as messy, but we may not find out about it until like months or like a year later for real, you know? If we find out about it at all, okay? What is this? And this girl, she's got like little fuzzies over her face, like a clown or something. So he could view just Offset as like a clown, you know, just doing the most is kind of how it's coming through. Okay, and talking shit, yeah, like you shit talking because you got rejected, or because, you know, Shorty has moved on, in reference to Cardi B. But in the same breath, you know, I feel like Offset has a valid reason to be feeling some type of way or be upset, or like, especially when you have an ego, or like you're a narcissist. Okay, it's like seeing the woman that you have multiple children with, you are married to. If it weren't for you, she probably wouldn't have had a lot of those songs or raps written for real, if we're gonna be honest, okay? Some of her, even her little her little nuance to like little what are those things called, ad libs that she be doing, they're fucking his. So I get why he feels the way, for real. Doesn't make it right how he treated her, but you know, I get it. Like, damn. Photo proof, getting evidence. Yeah, so he kind of just feels like Offset's just kind of full of shit is what it's giving, and he's just like obsessed, maybe again heavy into like some type of drugs or alcohol that makes it even worse when he gets in his head. Okay, again, some type of delusion energy here is at least how Stefon feels when it comes to Offset. Yeah, and he could feel like, you know what, you just talk shit and you do the most because I'm not acknowledging you, because I don't give you any time of day. I don't give you any attention, you know, and I make sure that my girl, Cardi B, doesn't give you a whole lot of time of day and attention. I feel like like Stefon, he like encourages Cardi to really like cut ties with him and keep him at a complete distance, but that's that narcissistic control shit. Like, that's still the father of her kids. Like, you're trying, again, like I said before, I don't know if he's necessarily trying to eclipse Offset out of the picture entirely, but that's kind of what it feels like. And it's giving just all out of ego, narcissistic control of other women, or other people, I should say, and that person being Cardi B. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't really like that. It's coming through a little weird. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. It's a little weird. Yeah, look at this impersonator. Look at this, fucking Michael Jackson. You know how Offset be dressing like Michael fucking Jackson? Wants to be like you, acts like you. Yep. And you have girl fight arguments. So again, Stefon just feels like Offset just wants to be like him. You want to be in my position. You wish you had it like me, whatever, whatever. But in the same breath, Stefon, I do feel like you're trying to eclipse Offset out of the picture, out of some type of control, or it's like which lion has the larger mane, you know, the mane of hair, and whoever has the larger mane of hair or wins the fight gets the lioness, is kind of how it's giving. All fucking ego. Oh my god. It's hard to even read this energy, to be honest with you guys. As someone who doesn't really operate from ego, it's hard to read this energy. Not hard, but it's just weird. It's weird. Okay, we're gonna use the same deck for Offset. Okay, we're gonna go back to him. There's definitely some type of tension here. Okay, just as much as Offset is a narc, he views Stefon as a narc as well. And he could feel as though he's just using Cardi B as like some type of public stepping stool. And he's gonna, again, run, escape, not be around for the long haul. And I agree with that, because I feel like with Stefon, he's not trying to plant or stabilize a tree and let it grow from the roots any fucking where. You know, it's giving spreading your little sprouts everywhere for short periods of time, and then it's on to the next. There's no real like longevity or relationship stability. There's financial stability with Stefon, but relationship stability is a no-go. In any capacity. It didn't have to be Cardi B, okay? How is Offset feeling in regards to Stefon, please? Legal issues. Court, judges, immigration, and lawyers. And that's very true. I just told you guys in the beginning of the reading, and I'm sure you guys are already fully aware, Stefon Diggs was charged, okay, with a crime. And I don't know verbatim exactly what the charges are, but I do feel like it was some form of assault, and it had to do with the woman that was like a chef, a personal chef for him. He kind of like strong-armed her, kind of strangled her. She felt like she was gonna pass out. Told her to fuck her. I'm not giving you your money. Are you crazy? Really nasty, really nasty. But anyway, legal issues. So yeah, Offset's aware of that. Why is this here, please? moving. Didn't I just say it's a very flighty energy, and Offset agrees. He feels the same way. It's like once you get what you need, or once you're done doing what you got from my girl, or my wife, I should say, you're gonna be moving on to the next. Bad reputation. Okay, what is this? Didn't they just buy a house? I think Stefon and Cardi B like just bought a house or something like that up in Massachusetts somewhere. Because he plays for the Patriots. So what is this? Always partying? Wolf in sheep's clothing. Interesting. So yeah, something here. Offset knows certain things, like behind the scenes or like underneath the sheepskin, there's a wolf in there. He's fully aware. And I mentioned that earlier. I think that Stefon's a little more sober-minded than Offset, at least during NFL season. Okay, maybe when NFL season is over and done with, maybe he goes back to his partying, drinking, drugging, and all that shit allegedly. But yeah, Offset is like, you are not who you portray yourself to be on the outside. Okay, what is this? How is he viewing Stefon? How does he feel in regards to Stefon? They could have partied together. You know, it's coming through as like maybe swapped bitches and stuff together. Not Cardi B, but, you know, swapped females and whatnot. Drinking together. Obviously not now, but I feel like they had some type of relationship. Why is he here? How does he feel? Fake flexing. Acts rich, flosses money, acts fancy, dirty offer. I feel like that's Offset though. Like he be fake flexing low key. He's got a lot of financial issues right now, low key. But you know, rich people or famous people broke is different than everyday regular people broke. But yeah. And that's what I just said. It's like he views Stefon as somebody who is not who he portrays himself to be publicly. Being fake, okay? Maybe not so much financially, but just being fake. Fake flexing in general, okay? Same shit, different day. Okay, what is this? Why is this here? Uninterested. Yeah, so he's fully aware, like, Stefon is not interested in engaging in Offset, like, at all. Whether it be social media, in person, over the phone, when he's with Cardi, or maybe Cardi and Offset be arguing over the phone, and Stefon just be like, girl, just hang up. Get off the phone. Like, don't even, like, why are you even entertaining him? Uninterested. Photo proof is showing up again, and then no facts. That's interesting. If something here is photo proof as evidence, though, it's like, is it really a lie? Or someone here could be making shit up, but there's photo proof of other things? I don't know. Let me see. Again, he just feels like Stefon's like a liar or a faker. Someone who, again, a wolf in sheep's clothing is what we saw earlier. A narcissist here. And I will say this, I think Offset really feels as though Stefon is not as interested in Cardi B as maybe he was. It's like, you know, you don't really love her the way I love her. You don't, or I loved her. You don't really fuck with her the way I fucked with her. You know, I really helped her get on, or I was behind her, a part of that machine that made her part of who she is now. I didn't say that he gave her any talent. I didn't say that, you know, he gave her any drive or ambition, but he was very important to her come up. I will say that behind the scenes, okay? So he feels like, you know, you don't really fuck with her or love her the way that I loved her. You know, I loved her from the mud is kind of what it's giving. Like you love her for where you like her for where she is now. I fuck with her for where she came from. So at least that's how he feels. Doesn't have to make it true, but I can see why he feels that way. Okay, allegedly. Can you get one more on this, please? Then we're going to switch decks. What is this? Queen rising. Yep, there goes that fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, stepping into your power, praised, coming up in spotlight. And that's so crazy because then you have kissing ass. Like I just said, you don't fuck with her for who she really is. You fuck with her because of where she is right now, who she's become. Kissing her ass, you know, with Cardi B at least. But I really fucked with her from when she had nothing. Or when she really wasn't, you know, somebody as popular or as big as she is now. She was already popular. We know that. Okay, loving hip hop, Instagram comedian, funny, whatever. So we knew of her. But in the music business, she wasn't who she is now, obviously, when Offset started fucking with her. Okay, and he helped her a lot. He helped her a lot. And she has admitted that herself. So it is what it is. And it's not to say that Stefon doesn't help her in certain ways, right? He could make her feel motivated or encouraged or comfortable or secure in certain ways, but it was really Offset who really put that battery in her back to be where she's at now. I'm sorry. Okay, especially musically at least. But we're going to get to the tarot. We're going to get a couple pieces of tarot from one deck for Stefon, and then we'll switch decks just in case some of the same cards need to show up when we go back to Offset, okay? These guys are just, you know, they both have very big fucking egos, and it's like they're using their ego as a lens toward each other versus just using maybe logic or their heart, the real true heart space. It's all ego. I mean, gosh. What is this, please? Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and you have the Ace of Cups here. Okay. So technically, Queen of Pentacles would be like a moneymaker, someone who's very stable and secure, domesticated. Again, the wife, you know, the wife technically is Cardi B. She may show up as the Queen of Swords, but energetically, Queen of Pentacles is a wife, okay, or a husband. Nine of Swords would indicate stress, anxiety, high anxiety and stress over the wife, the woman here involved between them, and money, obviously, career, stability with the Queen of Pentacles, okay? Then you have this Ace of Cups, a new beginning and romance and love, maybe a resurgence of love here. Yeah, so he really feels like, obviously, Offset is stressed out about money. He feels like Offset is stressed out about this new romance that he's involved in with his wife, Cardi B, with this Ace of Cups. Like, and he just feels like, you know, you just feel some type of way about that. I just heard him say, like, I stepped up in ways that you couldn't for her. But it's like, you're just as much of a fucking deviant, like, as Offset is. So stepped up for her how? Like, what? Just because you have more money, you stepped up more for her? I don't understand that, but okay, honey. Ace of Swords. Five of Wands. There could have been some type of verbal altercation between these two at one point. But I feel like once that happened, it was like he just completely just stopped fucking with him, ignored him, doesn't give him the time of day anymore, maybe after a verbal altercation that occurred between them two at one point, Stefon and Offset. But I told you, like I said, I think both of these two know that they will get it popping. Like, maybe that's why Stefon doesn't really say a whole lot, doesn't really do too much, because he knows, like, Offset will get it on and popping. Like, put hands or send somebody to put hands. I don't know. When Offset be talking, I don't think he just be talking. If I'm going to be real with you guys, allegedly, entertainment purposes only. Especially when you know that this is the type of person that gets emotionally irate or unstable when they drink or smoke, and they'll be willing to pop off or do anything in that state of mind, allegedly, okay? Yeah, so he's viewing Offset as someone stressed out about this relationship and stressed out about money here. What is this? The Moon. Wow, okay. Secrets, insecurities, things that may not be seen so clear, things that are hidden. The Death card. Wow, okay. transformation, complete endings. I think there's something here with Stefon viewing Offset as like in some type of la la land delusion world where it's like he's not accepting that it's over between him and Cardi B. Okay, which could be true, but only to a certain degree. It's almost a little difficult to explain, you guys. Like, I hope you guys are sticking with me here. Five of Pentacles, Six of Wands. Okay, what is this? The Moon, please. The Fool, taking a leap of faith, a fresh new beginning here. Wow, okay, I just heard a fool in love. He's viewing Offset as like a fool in love, or somebody who is not moving on. Again, we had obsessive lover here, okay? How he's viewing Offset. Nine of Pentacles. Oh, geez, and the Devil. Wow, okay. Lord have mercy. What is this, please? The Fool is someone who doesn't mind, you know, taking risk or putting themselves out there. It's like a brand new beginning as well. A new lease on life. It's like he's viewing Offset as someone who, again, is stressed out, feeling insecure, not happy with the fact that his wife started a new beginning here, literally. So, Seven of Pentacles, investment, time and effort, energy, money, patience. I apologize if I pause for a minute as well, you guys, okay? It's because I'm channeling, so. Again, I see him very stressed out about finances and investments. And it's like Stefon knows all about it, okay? Wow, he knows all about it. He knows a lot more than he says when it comes to Offset. He's looking at Offset as someone who still wants to like invest. Let me see, what is this? But to be fair, they have multiple children together. So it's like, wouldn't he have to invest some type of way? So what's the problem with that? That's why I said before earlier, like, it almost feels like Stefon is trying to eclipse Offset out of the picture completely. Even though Stefon has absolutely no intentions of planting any real seeds with Cardi B, that's going to last long term at this point. What is this? Wheel of Fortune. Good luck, destiny, something that is fated. Yeah, it's like he's viewing Offset as like, you know, you're just sitting around waiting, mad as hell for something to change and waiting for her to come back and reinvest in you. And that's not going to happen. King of Swords here. Wow, there goes the impending divorce. King of Swords or the Queen of Swords is a divorcee, if not a lawyer, a judge, the courts, police, law enforcement. But it's definitely giving more like a divorce. Yeah, Stefon, he like can't wait for this divorce to finalize or to really go through. I just think Stefon likes to have a lot of control, like in general, no matter who he's dealing with, who's around, he just likes to be in control all the time is what it's giving. So it's like, if I can control this girl that I'm with, and that means getting you out of the picture and eclipsing you, then okay. You know what I mean? He wants to be like the only man, but he wants to have multiple women, but be the only man in all these women's lives. Wow. What is this? Eight of Swords. Mentally trapped. Feeling stuck. stagnated, overthinking, and overanalyzing. Eight of Swords can also be jail, okay? And then the Hermit, yeah, so he's completely like isolated from Offset. He's viewing Offset as somebody who is like in his head all the time, again, stressed out. There could really be some type of restraining order here or something to like keep him away. And it's like, obviously, if you break a restraining order, or do something that's against the restraining order, you can face jail time for real. So but I don't think that was necessarily Cardi B's idea. For some reason, I feel like that was Stefon's idea. Like, you should do this, you should take these steps because he's tripping. But is he really though? Because if y'all have 3 kids together and you're doing the most this type of shit, especially publicly, I mean, and you're shutting him out, I definitely see like Offset being shut out and isolated. The Hermit and the Eight of Swords, and that could really be stressing him out. That's Selena Powell, girl. I don't fuck with her. I don't like her, but I don't think she was lying. If I'm gonna be real with y'all, like, but talking about Cardi B's daughter culture and not being allowed to talk to her dad, Offset, she's got to sneak and talk to the baby culture. I'm like, oh my God. I hate to say this, but I don't think she was lying. Allegedly entertainment purposes only. Okay, we're going to hop back to Offset at this time. Libra energy, the Justice card at the bottom already. But let's see. What is his energy like when it comes to Stefon at this time? Please and thank you. Page of Wands. Yeah, it's like the children. That's why I said before, like, yes, he is kind of a pusher. I get it, It's coming through like someone who's obsessed or won't let shit go. But it may just have to do with the kids. The Page of Wands showing up here first. Again, too, going in a new direction. Starting a new project. Being enthusiastic about doing something different. Doing something new. Good news. Okay? Someone who wants to talk. But this is a child energy. Okay? And then you have, look, the Star. Wow. Okay? 5 of Cups. Ace of Cups. He's good. He's like really upset. He's feeling some type of way. But for some reason, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think this has anything to do with like wanting to be back with Cardi. Of course, he loves her. Will always have like some type of affinity toward her. Yeah, the 5 of Cups. I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's like I want to reconcile and heal and be with my kids. So they could really be trying to keep him away from his kids, but it's like, what the fuck? Justice card again at the bottom. Okay, what is this? How is he feeling when it comes to Stefon, please? 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, so he knows he's a lot more stable financially on paper, right? But this is giving like family, like wealth, legacy, stability. I just said that a little while ago. I don't know. It's almost as if Stefon is trying to eclipse Offset out of the family dynamic here. Okay, why is this here, please? The Moon. Wow. See, so they both have the same energy showing up. I saw the Ace of Cups twice. The Moon is here twice. Okay. Wow. And you got the 7 of Swords. So yeah, he thinks that Stefon, again, we saw earlier, a wolf in sheep's clothing. He views him as like a liar, someone very fucking sneaky. Okay. I just heard Eminem cleaning out my closet. I'm sorry, mama. I didn't mean to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry, but tonight I'm cleaning out my closet. I don't know why I just got that energy. Eminem. So there could be a lot of skeletons in Stefon's closet. 3 of Cups. So yeah, he gets around, he parties a lot. That's why I said before, it's like maybe Stefon's a little more sober-minded than Offset on a basis of when he's playing sports, when the NFL is in motion. But once that shit is over with, the season's done, he might go back to the partying, drinking, and all that stuff. So just as much as maybe Offset partakes in extracurricular activities, okay, So does Stefon, allegedly. Entertainment purposes only, okay? And then again, you have the third party energy, hella females all over the place. Yes, Offset, you're messy as fuck too, but they both show up in the same energy there. So like you're calling him out, he's calling you out, but y'all are calling each other out on the same things. Like, come on now. Yeah, the moon. It's like you're low-key a demon for real. You said there's a succubus or some type of incubus showing in the water here. It's got red eyes. It looks like a demon, okay? They both be on demon time. I'm sorry. They could have been on demon time together, like before he ever got with Cardi B or anything like that. Insecurities, things that are hidden, fear, things that are not showing up too clearly with the moon. Oh, look at this, the devil. Wow. Didn't I just say, like, this motherfucker is on demon time? Look who's at the bottom. King of Wands, sexual deviant, someone who's very mean, nasty, a bully. I told you both of these two will pop off and put hands if they feel like it's fucking necessary. Okay. I don't like this combination. The devil and the King of Wands. Ooh, hold on. I messed up my deck, y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. What we're not seeing publicly, or what we're starting to see publicly, slowly but surely, when it comes to Stefon, it's like Offset already knew. He already knew. The magician, yeah, he views him as a manipulator. Now, the fact that we just saw the devil, the moon, and the magician, y'all can rewind the reading if you need to. I said this before, way earlier. I feel a little bad for Offset to a certain degree because I feel like we're viewing somebody spiral in a particular fashion, or what we're seeing happen in the 3D is just a manifestation physically of what has happened to him spiritually. I really do feel like Offset has been rooted, or some type of work has been put over his life. When it comes to Cardi B, okay, we're just going to keep it real. Allegedly, entertainment purposes only. And we're seeing it start to manifest physically, okay? And he's again viewing Stefon as like a liar and a manipulator. The magician is like the trickster of the deck. It is someone who's very talented, you know, they've got all the tools to make something happen, but it's creating an image, a false image, an image here that's, again, very blurry, confusing, not all the way clear. And you use, or at least it's how Offset is feeling, Stefon, you use your money, your fame, your power to kind of pretend like all this other shit is not going on behind the scenes with you. Again, I was channeling Eminem, cleaning out my closet. There's skeletons in the closet here. And Offset could feel like Stefon is manipulating the children. If Stefon has even met the kids, I'm not sure. Obviously, him and Cardi B have a little baby together, but the other three are Offset's kids. So it's like, are you trying to manipulate her, again, to keep Offset out of the kids' lives or something? It's a lot deeper and a lot more sinister here than just, oh, you're the ex-husband, baby daddy who's obsessed, in love with her, won't let it go. It is so much, it's deeper than that. It's not just that. Okay. Nine of Swords. So here it is again. They both have the Nine of Swords showing up for one another. I told you, it's like they have very similar energy and they just project on one another. Or, you know, or, well, you robbed a bank, or you robbed a bank too. Yeah, but you robbed the bank first. Yeah, but, you know, stuff like that. Come on now. Nine of Swords. And I just said that he's more stressed out about his kids than he is about Cardi B. She hasn't even shown up here, if I'm going to be real with y'all. It could be the Queen of Pentacles, her energy, because she is the wife, but she's a Queen of Swords. She's a Libra, so I don't see her here at all. It's giving Offset is more stressed about his kids, okay, than anything. And on top of that, that makes a lot of sense. Have y'all ever seen that clip of those team members of Stefon Diggs? There was a guy filming them, asking them, you know, oh, if there were one person you on your team you would never want to date, your sister or your daughter or your whoever, your nieces, your cousins, who would it be? They all said Stefon. We don't want him fucking with nobody we know. That says a lot. That says a lot. If all of these teammates are saying they wouldn't want you fucking with their sister, but you're supposed to be this good guy, no. There's a reason. If a guy that you fuck with doesn't want you fucking with their sibling, their cousin, their girlfriend, whoever, there's a problem. And there's something here he's stressed out about him being too close or involved or, again, manipulating the family dynamic here or something. This Nine of Swords. Okay, what is this? How is he feeling when it comes to Stefon, please, at this time? Queen of Wands. Wow, okay, and the Two of Swords. Wow, okay. Six of Pentacles here as well. Yeah, so he knows, like, he's always been that type to, like, kind of spread himself thin. Stefon, give himself to multiple women. If it's about money, he's not worried about that. You know, give a bitch a little bit of this, a little bit of that to keep her quiet or keep her at bay. Okay, Queen of Wands and the Two of Swords here. I don't know. Again, this is not technically Cardi B. She would show up as the Queen of Swords, but it's like, I'm not worried about that hoe. It's kind of what I just got. I am so sorry to say it like that. But, yeah, look, toxic. Toxic as fuck. I'm not worried about that hoe. I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about my kids. Okay? It's kind of what it's giving about. Like Two of Swords, blockage. I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm not worried about that. Blocking out communication. Okay? Don't want to talk. Again, and that's not her character card, but that's just kind of how it's coming through. Queen of Wands and the Devil. I'm telling you, like, he definitely could feel like Stefon is involved in some type of spiritual work. She isn't. Cardi B is involved in some type of spiritual work. And Queen of Wands and the Devil, that's definitely someone who gets around. Again, an aggressor, a bully of some sort. Yeah, and it's kind of giving a lot of ego involved as well. And he feels like Stefon is trying to, again, I don't want to say eclipse Offset out of the picture, but take control of the situation to where Offset has no say or no control or anything. Which is not fair, which is not right, okay? At least when it comes to fucking 3 kids involved, and technically the 4th one is his on paper, okay? Yeah, the World, like closing out a cycle. 2 of Cups. He's not worried about that relationship. He's closed out with that. He's closed out with that, okay? Knight of Swords. If anything, I feel like he's pissed off and angry with her more than he wants to get back with her, okay? Yeah, I don't like this. The Queen of Wands and the Moon, that's like a witch. And the Magician and the Queen of Wands, that's definitely like a witch or a warlock. Stefon could work with the spiritual practitioner. Obviously, I'm sure he does. Okay? Cardi B does, for sure. That's why I said before, I think there's some type of root work or something that's being either lifted or it's manifesting physically, and we're seeing all of this happen right now. Okay, what is this? The Chariot, Queen of Cups, and the 4 of Cups. Yeah, so I said that before. It's like, you know, he's always going to have some type of love or affinity for Cardi B, right? But he's moving forward. It's like, you moved on, move forward. I was doing my own thing anyway. So I'm trying to just move on, move forward from this successfully as I can. 4 of Cups, it's like, not interested, ignoring. Okay, and again, I think with this, he could be viewing Stefon as somebody who, again, is going to get up and leave high and dry. He feels like he love bombs Cardi B. Again, you robbed a bank. Yeah, well, you robbed a bank too. It's like giving the Spider-Man meme. You're just pointing fingers at each other, even though y'all do the same shit. Okay, but it feels like Offset, at least he feels like himself. He has a lot more genuine love for Cardi than Stefon does. It's like, you know, you planted the seed in her. You got the public image you wanted out of her, getting next to her, okay? Because unless Stefon is playing, nobody's worried about Stefon Diggs. I'm sorry, okay? Like, unless you're out there playing on the field, throwing a goddamn ball, we're not talking about Stefon Diggs. This is the most he's been talked about outside of football ever, I think, okay? And that Chris Blake Griffith situation where he his brother got him beat up in an elevator or some shit. But again, to reiterate what I already said, Offset feels like, you don't really love her the way that I did. You got what you wanted out of her. You put a baby in her. Now you're trapped with her forever, or at least until the kid turns 18, 21. And the love is not genuine. And you're going to be on the road straight to the next after this. So, yeah. That's really how Offset could feel. He's over it anyway, but it's like, damn, it's you're going to break her heart and fuck her over just the same way I did. Is kind of what it's giving. Because again, it's like Offset knows something or certain things about him and his character that Cardi B is like oblivious to, not wanting to accept, not seeing, pretending like she don't care. But that's not true. Okay, also here's somebody maybe ignoring their intuition. Yeah, very interesting look. Yeah, burden. He feels like Stefon is going to create a massive burden for her, 10 times worse than any burden Offset created for her. Yeah, and look at this, 10 of Cups. You can't make this up. A burden in the household, the family life. Happy wife, happy life, my ass, with this 10 of Wands. So he feels like that whole relationship is a farce. He thinks it's fake, But again, I don't feel like he is as quote unquote delusional or as quote unquote obsessed as they be trying to make it seem. And then look at this, as I'm putting the deck away, Queen of Swords in the reverse. I told you, he feels like he doesn't really love her for real like that. Okay. Yeah, the devil again. My God. Okay, I need to get out of this. But yeah, both of these two are very egotistical, very fucking narcissistic. They're just that Spider-Man meme, pointing fingers at each other, but looking at each other in the fucking mirror. But I don't like that they're trying to make Offset paint it out to be this obsessive, weirdo who's just forcing his way in, obsessed with Cardi B, when it's like, no, I'm worried about my kids. I'm not worried. And again, how you give it up, Stefon, yes, I don't want someone like you around people that are my family, quote unquote, or again, my wife, someone I genuinely care about, because you don't genuinely love or care about her. And this Nine of Swords with the Four of Cups, Page of Wands energy definitely solidified it for me about him being more concerned about his kids, not being able to even talk to his kids. I mean, my gosh. And Cardi B, I think she's being manipulated by Stefon. I do. Stefon wants to be the one and the only one, even if it means at the expense of the father of three or all four of her kids, three of her kids biologically, okay, one, the last one she had legally. And then just to end up leaving her high and dry anyway. Like, what a dick. I'm sorry. Both of these guys are just toxic as the fuck. Okay, but I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope that y'all enjoy this. I hope that you guys got something out of this. If it made any sense to y'all, leave a like. It's absolutely free. Share if you care. I would love to have y'all here, part of the family, okay? Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.